Hello everyone, welcome to Vaagdevi tutorials. Those who are new to my channel, please like, share and subscribe my channel. Today we are going to learn about command line arguments in Java. So what is the use of in the previous tutorial? When you have watched the previous tutorial, I already said that I I will say about string args in the further tutorials. Now today is the class about today is the video about string args. What is the use of string args in Java? So in the last tutorial we executed a program here, hello world. So I explained you about what is public. It is visible, static, it is accessible, and void main is default. And what about the string args in Java? Today we are going to know about what is the string args in Java. So when you print an output hello world here, then here you have, by default you have here a line called command line. So this is the, after the output, whatever this is the space you have is called a command line. I already wrote here that it is a command line. So when you pass any data through that command line, whatever here the command line you passed here, whatever arguments you passed in this line will be reflected as the arguments. So when you pass here what you said, string args means arguments. In command lines, when you pass the data, which is technically called as arguments, passing of data is technically called as arguments. The arguments will be like as an array. Here you can see, here it is like an array. When you pass the first argument in the first memory box here, for example, pass the argument as Java, and here in the second box pass the argument as C, and in the third box pass the argument as Python. Arguments is like a box. Arguments is like a box. When you pass any argument into that box, it will store as an like as an array in the arguments of 0 as arguments of 1, arguments of 2, as like how we arrange the elements in an array. When you declare an array as a of I, means the first element will be a of 0, the second element will be a of 1, the third element will be a of 2. In that way the array is arranged. In the same way the arguments is like an array. When you pass an argument, it will dynamically increases its size. When you pass one argument, then it will be giving only a of 0, that is args of 0. When you pass another argument, then it dynamically increases its size as args1, args2, args3. In that way it will increases its arguments. Whenever you want to pass a data through main method, then we will make use of command line arguments. Here you can see, in the command line arguments you are passing the arguments. You are passing the arguments in the command line. So this is called as command line arguments. I already said that args is like an array. So it is a dynamic array. Why it is called as dynamic array is discussed in further tutorials. The third point you can see here on the slide, command line arguments or data passed to the main method. So here we saw already that we are passing the arguments through the main method. Here public, static, void, main, string args. You are passing the arguments via main method. So to the main method and via command prompt you are passing this arguments. So this is called, whenever you pass arguments through main method, then it is called as command line arguments. So here you can see the main method. Here you can see main method. The main method here, this is main is called a main method. All this public, static, void, main, string, args is the signature, is called signature. Only the main within parenthesis is called the method. And when you see public, static, void, main, string, args, when you include all this, this is the signature of the main method. So whatever the alternative, can we alternate the methods of main method? Can we use any alternative names for main method? Yes, it is possible. So public static void main, you can write the main method in four methods, in four alternative methods. First one is the general method, public static void main string args, and the second alternative is you can place static at the first and public at the second, and as it is whatever you want, then you can execute here. And the third one is public static void main strings string args. After you can place that square brackets, and here public static void main string three dots, you can also place three dots, and you can write the args here. This is the four alternative methods of syntax of signatures of main method. You can also create and you can also write the syntax of main method in four alternatives. These are the four alternatives you can write the main method. Thank you. Please like, share and subscribe.